Hello, my friends. I'm Ventox, your resident Danganronpa 2 addict, and tonight we are jumping into the most important trial that I have ever had, because now I am going to finally identify and take down the person who murdered my favorite character. So that is one of the new ones, Nah? Hell yeah, I just learned that one today. That last stream that we did and the investigation phase was really fun. I think I know who the killer is. As a matter of fact, she may or may not be on the screen right now, but there are some holes in my theories that I'm still going to need to figure out the actual details behind. I've done a little bit of thinking, and I have some theories that I can add on to what I theorized at the end of our last stream, but overall, my main, speculations haven't really changed too much. I still think Nikon is the murderer. I still think that the two bodies were there overnight. I think that the little curtain thing was how they did it. I just have some ideas about the last 10 minutes of the body discovery. Oh look, I see dead people in this game? Nah. So, we are gonna go ahead and just jump right into the minutes before our third trial. I do want to let you guys know right now, I am going to be taking a vacation pretty soon. I might do another stream over the weekend. I'll keep the Discord updated. If I do, then it'll just be, the daily life phase of Chapter 4. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be out for about a week because I'm traveling for a wedding. Yay! This one at least is not my own, so I don't have to stress over it. It's just, I'll be out of town for a little while. Then after that, it will be about a week of business as usual, maybe a little bit less business than usual, and then I move. So, schedule is going to get a little shaky for a little bit here, but I'll get set up, I'll get established, and then we'll finish the game. So, let's recap what happened last time. We had just discovered the bodies, that's right, bodies, of Saionji and Ibuki in the music venue. Saionji was found with her throat slashed and duct taped up to one of the pillars on the stage, and Ibuki was found hanged from the lighting rail of the stage. When we had discovered the first body 10 minutes earlier, Saionji was not there, and then we ran away and we came back and she was there, and that was a whole big, how did she appear in this short amount of time? Who could have killed her and hung her up and locked the doors and everything in the next, few minutes? So that was a tough one to discover, but I think I worked out the answer. We found that there's blood on Ibuki's shoes. We found that the rope was definitely how she died. We found that Saionji had her motel room in her pocket. This scrap of thick paper, which was hanging on the lighting rail. We found that this curtain at the music venue was not there originally. It was brought from the supermarket. The stepladder that Ibuki used for her hanging had blood stains on the side. The candle on the stage was what was used for the lighting, in theory. A surveillance camera unit was found broken. This one's the hardest one for me to answer so far, but I think my theory is still sound. The AC temperature is pretty clear. That was just to disguise the time of death for the two bodies. The blood stain on the floor, I think, was just done to obfuscate the second body. The semi-transparent glob, this is some sort of adhesive residue that caused the doors to be stuck because they don't have an actual lock. This is the other part that I'm really not sure about yet. Mikan's account of her alibi, which I think breaks down upon closer inspection. The actual video that we saw, which we suspect was filmed in the hospital rather than in the music venue. Fuyuhiko's account, which is, again, an alibi for himself and kind of Ibuki, but also I think this is damning for Ibuki. Sonya's account, which really I think just serves to explain why Saionji was at the music venue in the first place. The movie invitation ticket, which I assume is just going to be our own alibi, so people will be like, I'm expecting at some point in the trial someone's going to be like, hey, Hajime was the one who, discovered the first body. He's the only one who saw the inside of the thing, and so he must have been the one who did it. And then we'll counter that by saying, no, there's no way, because I did not know about the movie and the sequence of the deaths, and so I can't have prepared this copycat killing. Monokuma's account, which just tells us how we can have 2 different people with bags on their heads. And then the movie, I'm still not sure why we're copying the movie, to be honest. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think if there was like a moral to it. I'm pretty sure if I recall at the end, Monokuma found the wizard of Monami and killed her and then enslaved the old people. So I'm just assuming that is what Mikan wants out of this. Her motive was just to enslave old people because she's a terrible person. So that's all of the evidence that we have so far. So my general theory on this is as follows. And I had a visual aid prepared. I just have to find it. Here we go. All right. So here's my visual aid. And I'm just gonna put it in here as well. And here. There we go. Okay, so my theory is that these 2 rooms were set up as such simultaneously. So already in the middle of the night, we had Saionji over here, Ibuki over here, and the whole scene in the music venue already established except for this camera. This camera wasn't here because it was here in the hospital. So in the morning, Mikan goes to the conference room, draws the curtain, the blackout curtain, and sets it to look as if it is the music venue. She puts on a hospital robe, she puts on the bag over her head, she reaches up to the noose, and then the light goes out and the broadcast ends. Now, there's a little bit of a wishy-washy timeline here between Hajime seeing that and actually getting to the music venue to confirm. During that time, I suppose the real question is, was this camera already here? If it was already there, then my theory kind of falls apart, unless I say that Mikan just sprinted out of the hospital and yeeted it in here and then hid somewhere inside. Like maybe she hid behind the bar over here. Something like that. Maybe that's a theory. And then she just yeets this thing, it breaks into 1,000 pieces. Hajime comes in, and at that time also, on the lighting rail up here, Mikan has already prepared a fake curtain, a fake wallpaper. So it is hanging from here, blocking the view of Saionji's body. Then after Hajime leaves, she runs up, she just tears it down, but she leaves the incriminating little piece of the wallpaper up here on accident. She then runs away and coats the door frame in, I'm assuming it's like wallpaper glue, maybe, and that's what causes the doors to actually like shut. Now, I have a couple of theories that might explain some of the contradictions or some of the holes here, and both of those kind of rely on the existence of an accomplice. My thinking is, A, Nagito is just completely an X factor in this. Nagito could absolutely be on her side and helping out and throwing things at us just to confuse us. I do think he knows something is up, and my reasons for that are, oh no, the flashcard. Oh no, shoot, hang on. My MS Paint is blocking it. I'm sorry. We'll come back to that. We'll do another flashcard in a bit, Ziggy. My reason for thinking Nagito is twofold. First, it's Nagito, right? Like, he has explicitly stated that he will work with a killer to try to throw us off the truth in the name of hope. So that's just an omnipresent consideration. But two, his behavior and the things that he was saying while he was struck with the despair disease are still important to me. Specifically, he said something about the twin Ibukis, which at the time, you know, we just take as like, oh, this guy's cracked, he's crazy, he's got the despair disease, whatever. However, let's take a look at what came to pass here. We actually had, if my theory is correct, our twin Ibukis over here. We had two Ibukis at once. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Second thing that he said that makes me think he might have known something was up is when we were in the room with him and he was still kind of loopy, he was like, I want you to leave, I want you to get out. And since we know that he was stuck with lying, at that time what he was saying was, I want you to stay with me, I want you to be here. And yeah, he's had a fondness for Hajime since the beginning, but that seems a little forward for him. So, I don't know, I feel like maybe he knows something and either he is actively involved or he has ideas or knowledge that we don't. So that's theory number one about an accomplice. Theory two on an accomplice is Fuyuhiko himself. Fuyuhiko is the only other person who was with Mikan during this whole debacle, and Fuyuhiko is also the one who pointed out the broken drumstick that was supposedly one of the things locking the door. Now, it does not make any sense at all whatsoever that a single drumstick is enough to stop 4 people from shoulder checking a door open. Obviously, we now know after the fact that it was held together with some sort of glue, but even so, the existence of this chopstick just feels very, very weird, and like, that feels like a deliberate red herring that someone tossed there after the fact to be like, oh, that's what locked the door, and therefore the killer must have been inside at the time. I think that's going to be one of the things that maybe throws suspicion at Hajime somehow. So I think Fuyuhiko might be in on it, and might have just tossed that down and to draw our attention. Now, why would Fuyuhiko be an accomplice? That feels very weird after the last chapter, but hey, stranger things have happened. I would wager between the two options, Nagito over Fuyuhiko, but that remains to be seen. Finally, the last thing that I want to recap before we move on is Mikan's timeline itself, because I was sitting there and I was thinking, like, what was the order of events? And now I remember. What happened was, first of all, suspicious, immediately as soon as we wake up, Mikan is there in our bedroom with us. Now that's got its own host of problems, but I think that that was a deliberate move on her part, because the whole supposed timeline of the murders is that both Ibuki and Saionji are presented as such to make it look like they died in the morning. And so by waking up with Hajime, that automatically rules her out as far as appearances are concerned, because it makes it look like she was accounted for practically 100% of the time. So she wakes up with Hajime, the two of us go to the hospital together, and now I remember we both went in to check on Nagito, I think. And when we went and checked on Nagito, that was when Nagito said the things, the like, hey, stay with me, and that might have been when the twin Ibukis happened, or it might have been earlier, I don't remember. Either way, then, this is the kicker, I remember her saying, I'm really tired, and I'm going to go upstairs to sleep in the on-call room. And that's what she did. She went upstairs. And if that's the case, boom. We're done. Mystery solved. Mikan is the one who did the filming. Mikan is the murderer. So that's my train of thought. Unanswered questions. The big ones are, why did we stage it to look like the movie? again, just because Mikan hates old people. Why is Saionji murdered? More like, how did we know that Saionji was going to be there to be the victim of a murder? That one I don't know, and might have just ended up being a happy coincidence. It might have been that Mikan was already there overnight with Ibuki, who was, let's remember, already on her way out of the hospital when I got jump scared by her. So maybe Mikan was already on her way there and happened to be there at the time that Saionji arrived, and then she just like, yoink, killed. It does also strike me as very conspicuous that for the first time, Mikan's autopsy did not include any details about what the weapon could have been that killed Saionji. We got very, very specific details in previous cases. You know, in the first one, when it was Byakuya, she was very detailed about like, oh, it was something sharp, less than 5 millimeters in length, very thin, you know? Or in width, very thin. What was the second one? The second one, she said, you know, one sharp blow to the head with a blunt object. We didn't get that level of detail. All we got was, oh, some sharp-edged tool cut her throat. So like, Mikan, why you hiding that, So I'm sitting here right now telling you guys, I have 100% confidence that it's Mikan. Mikan didn't seem likely to hate everyone until now, maybe only Hyoko. I mean, yeah, and that's legitimate. Mikan is the secret heir to a rival mafia gang from Italy. I blame you for Ibuki Miyota memes appearing on my recommendations. Good. There should be Ibuki memes on your recommendations. So, with all of that out of the way, now that I've ranted for 15 minutes about my theories, let's jump in. Tay? I think that's Tay. That is another one that I learned today. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. And soon enough...
Welcome!
Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to the class trial?
Wait!
Hey, jerk! Hold it right there!
Mon Amy's such a dumb child.
What? Don't get in my way. You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells.
Hey!
My brain works just fine.
Hey, hey!
Monokuma, what did you do with Nekomaru? Oh, that's a good question. I guess he's, like, supposed to be at the class trial per the rules. I see. So you've come to avenge him.
That's...
Avenge? That sounds like he died. Sounds like you say. Oops.
Anyway,
since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
bye-bye.
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Hold on, I won't let you escape. Hey, did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it, there's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way, not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Why are you so excited about that?
How about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What do you yearn?
What are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough. Again, Nagito knows something that he's keeping hidden here.
See?
Then let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
All right, let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. All right. The herd thins. There's what, 9 students here at the moment? Just as I thought, this particular incident. We can continue this later. Right, Hajime? What's wrong with him? He's even creepier than usual.
Fine.
It's about time I showed my serious side.
Let's make history.
Jeez, how troublesome. But I suppose I can display my true power for the sake of our 2 fallen comrades.
This is bad.
Hey, what did Monokuma mean just now? Don't tell me Nekomaru's already... Don't get distracted by Monokuma. We need to focus on the class trial. I know, but...
I'm gonna do it!
Hey, what are you whining about? Hurry and get this over with already. And then we can greet Coach Nekomaru with open arms when he comes back. I appreciate her drive.
Jeez.
I already figured this, but it's best if we don't rely on Monami all that much. She's just saying stupid things and it'll make us all even more confused. Maybe we should shut her up for good. I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, like, yeah, she presents herself in a very benevolent way, but, like, I don't trust that. I don't trust like that.
Hey.
Let's go. There's no time to waste. I know it's sad, but we need to move forward. And then, we need to end this once and for all. Yoko, it must be my fault after all.
Well?
Then, I must learn the truth behind this murder most foul. Now then, let us proceed. I haven't been helpful at all. That's on purpose. You're doing this deliberately, Mikan. You're not fooling me. I couldn't even figure out an estimated time of death. I'm sorry, I'm such a useless piece of trash. And the time of death thing too, like, man, who here would have the knowledge to try to obfuscate the time of death in that way, right? Like, who is actually gonna think about turning the heat in the room up so that we can't accurately get a read on how long these people have been dead? That is so suspicious. Maybe Gundam, maybe Chiaki, definitely Fuyuhiko. Ain't no way Akane knows that. Ain't no way Akane is clever enough to do that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No chance whatsoever. But Vent, she's clumsy? I don't care that she's clumsy. Maybe that's an act too. She hasn't been clumsy for the last, like, 2 chapters. I mean, the killers always have figured out something ahead of that and used it to commit the crime. Me? Is that me? Hell yeah, 3 for 3 tonight, let's go. Vent is out for blood? You bet I am. She murdered my favorite character. We stepped onto the escalator and ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock, and that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. And when everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, man, what on earth is Danganronpa 3 gonna be like? The elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No!
Why bother?
That's...
What?
Well now.
Now then, let's begin.
Yoo-hoo!
It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. Oh, you bet I will. And so the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker for our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. And Hyoko Sayonji, who nobody cared about at all. Just looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. The person who killed those 2 is among us. Quit looking all scared there, Mikan. I definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake. For our friends' sake. For Ibuki and Hyoko's sake. And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair has begun. Alright, Oh, I have no idea what this one is. Mo. That is one of the ones I added today. I couldn't remember that one. All right, 3 for 4. All right, so let's set our skills first because I have some new ones to add. I can add Menacing Focus, greatly increases my focus gauge.
Infinity Unlimited Flame.
Increase the power of the silencer. Cannot be combined with Cheat Code, which I assume goes from Chiaki. Effective during Logic Dive. Oh, increases acceleration speed, so that makes you run faster in the surfing minigame? Weird, but okay. Sure, why not? All right. We'll enjoy it until Hangman's Gambit shows up. Aw, man, the Hangman's Gambit is terrible, dude. I hate Hangman's Gambit. Make sure that I've got the difficulty set correctly. Yes, we're on mean, so let's go. And now, the best part of the entire game, the class trial, because I don't have to voice act anymore.
Let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During
Night,
the
Ziggy.
class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out.
I don't trust you.
You know, because I was asleep the whole time. Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Kazuichi.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
I need that, like, embroidered as a wall decoration or something. That's an amazing quote.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease.
I like that Hajime seems to have a bit
The
more
hospital
agency
team
in this case.
consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
Very low voice
I
acting
woke
from
up at my
Fuyuhiko.
cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was
So far, we're just getting a recap.
a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
So our theory is that this was coming from the conference room in the hospital.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
That
I
line
tried
was
to
so
stop him, of course.
patronizing.
I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling.
All right, we're gonna pause here for a second. I don't know if the art is indicative of the actual reality of the scene, but I'm just noting the size of the support pillar on the side there, okay?
I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
What the hell does that mean? I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me. This is not me getting more suspicious of her as the murderer, this is just a suspicious line in general.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
I also still don't know what she meant. I took a note of this at some point. Hold up. I don't know what she meant when she said... Where is it? Oh my gosh. There we go. Somewhere like right here. While she was taking care of Nagito, I spooked her and she said, "Please don't surprise me, I almost got wet." I still didn't get an explanation for what that line meant. I don't know if that's like her making him drink water and if it's like totally innocent or if there was something nefarious going on. I'm just not sure.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hiyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Yep, here it comes. Huh?
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious.
Yep.
Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Thing is, he's not wrong. If I stop assuming
Why
that
would I
he's
lie?
a terrible person
Obviously.
and that he's
So you
genuinely
can
giving
make
it
us
his all
ignore
here,
what might
he's
be an
right.
Inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
And this is where we bring up the movie theater ticket. It's just as Kazuichi said. Nagito's the kind of guy who'll just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it. I shouldn't have explained this to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. There we go. Movie invitation ticket. This one's gonna be easy, a nice, gentle start for the case.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Why would
Well,
Hajime
obviously,
lie? Because he's the killer. Duh.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
That's a weird thing for Nagito to say.
Hajime's
Obviously, that is the
testimony
contradiction
clearly
there, but...
suspicious.
If Hajime's... then the fact that Ibuki...
that would also...
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime kill both of
the fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
no, that's wrong.
All right, cool. That's one piece of evidence that I don't have to consider anymore.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Okay, yeah.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time.
Man, what is Nagito's deal?
Isn't that
I'm
right,
so
Monokuma?
confused about you.
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What
I do
warm-up?
agree with that.
This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Chiaki is just very
Now
quickly
then,
escalating to like the
Since we
top
know
of my tier
Hajime's
list.
testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
Kind of.
Ibuki committed suicide. Then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone.
That's what they
So
want
all
us
we
to
gotta
think.
do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
10
I
minutes.
couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
Again, what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream with Fuyuhiko potentially being suspicious about the timing of everything and specifically the setting up the locked room. Here he is bringing that up and dictating the flow of conversation with that in mind. I can't conclusively say that this implicates him, but it is definitely suspicious to me because I know that that's not true. He could just be wrong and he could just be barking up the wrong tree, but I can't take that at face value right now.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two, Sonia and Kazuichi.
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi.
I was about to bring this up.
Nekomaru. Me too!
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
Killer was inside the music venue. Yukiko obviously thinks so, but he's wrong. The semi-transparent glob.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside,
I really
they
enjoy
tried to
the
keep
white
us
noise
from getting
votes.
in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Cheers.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as
Fools.
a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
That person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence.
The killer was still inside the
What a
music
nothing
venue.
statement.
By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting
Ah,
in.
shoot. Destroyed 100
It
white
seems they were
noise
trying to
lines.
stall for time.
I got an
How
achievement
did
for
they
that.
lock the door?
Oh, whoops.
That door should not have had a...
The lock was on the floor in front of...
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock. By doing that, the killer waited till we get... And suddenly...
So they look like
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
I really enjoy Sonia.
The killer was
honestly,
still inside the music
The cast
venue.
is really good.
By locking the door from the inside.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Like, really, apart from Saionji and Teru Teru, I thoroughly enjoy basically every character in this game.
There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber at all. The semi-transparent glob was rubber.
I see.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is
Semi-transparent
wallpaper
glob.
glue.
Must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
See, I love Chiaki, but like, what on earth was she thinking? This stuff stuck to the door smells like workshop chemicals. Yum, yum, yum.
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
Or Chiaki just knows the taste of glue through experience. I'm not here to judge.
I didn't know glue was edible. I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if
I
you
really
just
hope
stick
that
them
there's
together with glue, you'd be able to
fan
put
art
them
of
apart
Chiaki eating
easily,
glue.
You know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so?
Thank you, Chiaki.
It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
Fair.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
So,
Thank you,
during
Monami.
the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And
Nope.
they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
God, Mikan, you're
If they
laying it
couldn't
on
have
so
done it
thick,
while
girl.
Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Ah, Nagito's jumping to the chase, huh? Okay.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course,
Mikan
the
panicking?
body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap that was stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now, I should be able to figure out what it is. Is this gonna be the brain dive? Oh, god damn it. Wallpaper. Ah. Whoops. I was thinking about how I have to get rid of these before they just explode on their own. Oh! We're just making this thing as big as possible. Whoops. Oh, damn it. Finally, jeez, man.
I got it!
Please tell me that the Hangman's Gambit has been actually improved for V3.
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the
So,
wallpaper, wasn't
I
there?
didn't get to review
So-
this scene. I didn't realize until right now that that's not a full roll of the black wallpaper. It is just like a single sheet of it. Almost like a curtain size.
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting.
So yeah, that
tear in the
definitely answers
wallpaper,
where that went.
See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
The scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. Hell yeah, let's go. I don't remember the controls. Which one is jump? Okay, that's jump. That's brake. That's accelerate, okay. Whoop. I definitely clicked and it just didn't jump. I love how this has absolutely nothing to do with solving puzzles at all. Why did Hyoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? Because it was hidden. There needs to be like jump pads that you can do sick tricks off of. Like Super Mario Kart style. Question 2. What did the killer use to hide her body? The wallpaper. Ugh. Technically a curtain made of the wallpaper. Oh, all right. Ramping up the difficulty here. All right. Question 3. How did the killer hide her body with the wallpaper? They formed a wall? They covered the pillar. Like, man, sometimes these questions are ambiguous enough where I'm like, technically either one of these could kind of work. Because a wall would cover the pillar.
It's all coming together.
Still, that's my favorite minigame.
Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
Oh, Gundam.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there.
Okay, hold up. This does show the destroyed video thing, which means that if my theory is to hold true, that's going to mean that by necessity, Mikan, as soon as the transmission was finished, bolted out of the second floor of the hospital and ran in here and was already hiding in here before I arrived. That, or she had an accomplice who she tossed the camera out the window to. That, or actually, this makes way more sense, probably. Wow, I can't believe I never thought of this. Never mind. Actually, never mind. I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. Okay, wow. Real camera? Fake camera. They just went to the electronics department and got a different camera that they just smashed to bits. There. Okay, boom, done. That's way more sensible. And that's why it's smashed, because they would need to make sure that it's not operable, so that it can't be tested to prove that it's not connected to the other monitor. I like that a whole lot better than Mikan sprinting out the door.
However,
or actually, she wouldn't even be able to sprint out the door. She'd had to have sprinted out the second floor. She would have to jump out the window and get out here before I had arrived, which feels like a stretch.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music video.
The killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
This, I think, is going to...
You mentioned imitation murder more than once.
This is going to fill in a lot of blanks for me, I think. Because that's the big problem, the motive
you
here.
Haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
That sounded like he said moth.
I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
I see! The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
I think that this could be intuited, even without the whole movie thing, just based on the blood in the bottom of Hiyoko, or of Ibuki's shoes and the side of the step ladder.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
Chiaki, you get me.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
I enjoy that the two of them are on
Oh,
such
I
separate
see.
levels at all
You want me to
times.
explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
I like the hamsters come out for this one. Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed, alright? So Hiyoko's feet, or Ibuki's feet.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
And there it
Were there
is.
even any footprints at the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor. But she was like sitting or something. So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
Weak, 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 I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart!
I enjoy Gundam very much, especially now that Ibuki's gone. I need some level of quirkiness.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet.
I am telling you to present your...
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor,
All right, here we go.
was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that.
I really, really like the disagreeing and agreeing mechanic.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power
Oh,
of
God,
the evil
no.
eye!
All right, someone on YouTube told me
Is that it?
what I was.
A
Oh no, this
shepherd
isn't that
dressed
one.
in
This is a
his
different one.
Sunday's
Okay, no, this one's
finest
fine.
Still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
Me too, Akane.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Okay, so do I understand how this minigame works finally? I think so.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor. You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about one could you see a nice nightmare.
Okay, so I missed one slice.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
So far, no
Even if they're able to
curveballs.
hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Everything is going according to plan so far.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Don't take the bait, Sonia.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikan's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yup. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Where is he gonna go with this? I feel like all of the rules have been adjudicated cleanly.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh?
The
Suicide?
same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blackened to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hiyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive!
You know, I had this same train of thought for a while,
When Hajime
Nagito.
first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself, remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
The thing is, like, the whole despair disease thing, I get the impression that we're gonna kind of move away from the actual impact of the despair disease on Ibuki, which is that she was super gullible and would do literally anything anybody asked her to. But, like, it may still be argued that she did technically, semantically hang herself, but because she was ordered to do so by somebody who knew her condition, again, Ella Enchanted style.
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi.
And you know who
Since
has
Hajime
a
seen
seemingly
the video,
rock-solid
it is
alibi?
clear what time the crime took
Mikan,
place.
supposedly. Wait, Ibuki on
Just to be
video actually
sure,
hanged herself? No.
That surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
I don't think so. So this is where this comes into play. Where I'm just gonna put labels here. There we go. So this is the hospital conference room. There you go. And then this is the Titty Typhoon. So, my theory currently is that the hospital conference room was staged to look the same from a camera's point of view as the music venue. That's what I think is going on here. And we're about to establish the details of the surveillance camera, which I think is going to pretty tacitly confirm my suspicions.
Cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Not so.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
I'm gonna be really shocked if Sonya kills anyone at any point. So one of these two accounts is gonna be important.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
So this is where
Operation Destroy
Mikan's
the
account
Weakest
comes in.
Alibi has failed.
Okay. So far, so good.
We can exclude the sick.
And what about the...
Right before them, I was totally sleeping.
I think everyone...
So everyone who stayed...
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
No, that's wrong!
So again, Mikan showing up in my room in the morning feels so calculated.
Hold on.
Like, she
Not
is the
all of
one
us are
who
missing
is
an
trying
alibi.
to lock in an alibi for the time that the murders are supposed to have happened.
In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
you two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Kazuichi, I only have eyes for Ibuki and you know
I
it.
accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime. Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
Mm-mm.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
I'm gonna owe Mikan such an apology if I end up wrong about this.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
But I'm pretty confident here. Huh?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process. Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much.
No, you don't.
But that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Killer had a different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Yes. Yes, you idiot. Inside a trap set by one of us. If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it? Oh, we're already at our first intermission? Okay, cool. Oh no, I'm gonna have to voice act for Monokuma and Monami again. Damn it.
Hiya!
Why, hello there, Monami. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls. And here's some chance time. Hawawa? What's that? Now then, Monami's appeal time starts now. Huh? Appeal time? Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck! Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. While you were whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Then I'm Usami. Magical miracle girl, Usami. I'm an itty-bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. Yeah, these little interludes are very bizarre. Alright, well, this seems like as good a place as any to go fill up on some water.
Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable
We'll let Monami say whatever she has to say
situation.
first.
Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Good advice. Thank you, Monami. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and take a pause, fill up on water, and then we'll be back for, I assume, the conclusion of the trial. I can't imagine there's gonna be a second intermission. This one feels very cut and dry. So I'll be back in a minute. Alrighty, guys. Who's ready to be proven right? I know I am! The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that even exist?
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
He knows it's Mikan. He is indicating this without saying it outright. Because she was in a perfect position to murder him.
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
Kazuichi says what we're all thinking. You know what?
But I'm thinking
Respect.
about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
No, it's not, because we didn't know about that rule until after.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
No.
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape. Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
I'm not sure where we're going with this.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
Okay. That's what we're getting at here. Once again, corroborating what I suspect. Hyoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions? It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Why Hyoko went to the music venue? If that's the key to all this, I need to find that out, no matter the cost. I mean, Hajime, you know what that is. You asked someone directly and they gave you a direct answer.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
I believe that's what we're gonna be shooting.
She was guided by the will of causality.
Never mind, that's the one I agree with. I need to find out why Hyoko went to the music venue, okay.
Why did Hyoko go to the music? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned
I
her.
really enjoy alternating
If that's not
the
it,
speed up during
maybe she got abducted
Mikan's
by
voice
the killer.
lines.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
I agree with that. It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose.
Okay.
Are you saying my gut was wrong?
You got another one of these?
First and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
No, that's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now. Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
Oh, I was short by one.
Can't back down!
Oh, man. I am never prepared for that, dude. I am absolutely never prepared for that.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer
I like the
forced their way
complexity
into
that we're
Hiyoko's
adding here,
room.
though.
Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono, there's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer. That's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all.
Okay, now that I understand the minigame, it's actually pretty fun.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all there's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Okay, now that I understand it, I'm liking that minigame. And I like the complexity that we're adding with like the words coming in at like different spots and different times, so you actually have to be really mindful about when you're using your slices. Now I get it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hiyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Then the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
Hajime, now's your chance.
Dude,
Make
bro,
her admit
Kazuichi.
defeat, or better yet, make her do a little something something.
My man. Hell
Then,
no.
The killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake.
I'm liking these interactions.
What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
I really like that these two just keep like being at each other's throats, and then the rest of the class is just like, okay, anyway, moving on. I see the two of them bickering in the corner and the rest of the class being like, all right, now that the adults are talking.
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
Killed Hiyoko.
because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan. Do you have any ideas?
Damn, we don't know the most important part.
Killer's plan from the beginning. I'm pretty sure we're very, very close.
Hey Nagito, any ideas?
As you may know, don't prompt him.
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak?
Petty
I'm
Nagito.
so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Huh?
All
What are
right.
you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers.
Correct.
So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no way Ibuki committed suicide.
So, I'm not quite sure where we're going semantically here. Are we going to lean on Ibuki's despair disease and having somebody else command her to commit suicide count as an act of murder? Or are we just gonna say that the murderer just, like, you know, garroted her with a rope instead and then hanged her body later?
You know, we already finished talking about that a while ago.
Huh. Really? That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
No. Wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there'd be footprints all over the place if she kept walking around.
That's strange. That's very strange.
Strange? What's strange?
I see. It's not something we finished talking about. Those footprints. There's still an important clue left that we completely overlooked. Just as Nagito said, if she had blood on her feet, she would have left footprints. Then why weren't there any footprints on the... Da-da-da-da... stepladder?
I can prove it with this! If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
You notice such a small detail. How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate.
What are you talking about? You were obviously leading us to this. That's why you brought up the suicide topic after all this time. Nagito Komaeda, you're definitely someone I shouldn't underestimate. I'm really feeling like we're building up to the final case where Nagito is, in a certain way, very clearly the murderer, but has done like such a great job of laying the groundwork of being like, you can't prove it. And it's going to be an uphill battle just to show what should otherwise be obvious.
But didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did climb it.
Laying it on
Unless
thick,
there was
Mikan.
something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video,
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
So, just as I thought, it comes down to that. The mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video. And whether or not we can reach that hidden truth is all up to me.
Hajime, I leave it in your hands. As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
If there was some hidden clue in that video, I should have seen something strange as I watched it. I'm the only one who can clear that up. I'm the only one who actually saw that video. So I'm the only one who can do it. Is it going to be the candle, I wonder? The hanging video that I saw, based on everything we know from the debates thus far, I should be able to figure out what's strange. Right there.
Here! That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder. However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital. There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Wait, are you saying there were two stepladders?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, Mikan's
You're
panicking.
suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say that?
What are you two talking about?
The stepladder isn't the only thing that's different, huh? Chiaki said that the stepladder was at a different place, but... if that's the case, the thing that's different between that video and the actual scene of the crime is that thing the place where the killer did something? Another logic drive? Or dive? God, kill me. Kill me. Yeah, hanging curtains, I think, is where this is going. Oh, maybe not. Hospital. What's the prompt? What's the difference between the video I saw and the actual crime scene? Oh man, I hate Hangman's Gambit. It's either super duper obvious or incredibly inscrutable. There's not a way around, and I can't sit here and think about words because I have to focus on clicking stupid letters. It's not hospital. What's the difference between the video I saw and the actual crime scene? What? Oh, god damn it. This might just be a brute force solution. Because with 2 minutes to go, I don't really have a whole lot of time. It's not an L. I feel like it's not going to be an F. Oh, it is an F. Big. No, it's not an I. Try an L. Filmed elsewhere or something? Oh no, no, it can't be. Okay, filming location? Damn it. God, this game sucks. God, I hate this game. Oh, finally. God damn, man. See, that's the thing, like, I know what the answer is, I know what the puzzle is going for, but what specific words are you looking for?
That's right. Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
Here's how it feels to play this game in a language with shorter words and more characters like Japanese. That's true, actually. That is a consideration that this wasn't, like, designed with the English language in mind. So I guess I can kind of give it some sort of a pass, because if you are fluent in Japanese and are playing it in that language, the experience could just be completely different based on the difference in the linguistics.
It was filmed somewhere else.
But the hospital monitor is supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
And there's only one person capable of that. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
I just want the two of them to keep bickering. In order to show us that they filmed the video at the music venue instead of somewhere else, what did the killer do to that camera surveillance unit? No, no, no. Okay, okay, okay. Woo, we're good, we're good. Just gotta remember my controls. Whoa. Okay. Which part of the surveillance camera did the user tamper with? Oh, just shoot. I went the wrong way. I didn't have enough time to read. I really should have braked. I'm used to any sort of racing game where the correct answer is hold down the accelerator button until the end of time. Oh god, running out of space, running out of mouse space on my desk. Okay. Ah! This minigame slaps, dude. Oh my god. Ah, shoot. Oh my god, that's a real setback. I have too much stuff on my desk. I can't keep moving my mouse. God, man, this one doesn't stop. I hope no one is prone to motion sickness. Okay. Did the killer tamper with the camera at the music venue or the hospital? The one at the music venue. Oh, dang it. I wanted to be slick and jump from one rail to the other. I'm still gonna keep trying. Hell yeah. Damn it. That is definitely lower effort as far as the mouse movement goes, but much higher effort as far as timing. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Tony Hawk would be so proud of me. Man, I need more of this. There needs to be so many more of these. What did the killer do with the camera from the music venue's surveillance unit? They took it with them. Like, I need more than 3 questions per
It's all coming
whatever
together.
this is. Logic drive.
That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music venue. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That means you should have realized that from the start and made this easier on all of us.
Harsh but fair.
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was focused on the camera.
Well, that's true, but in order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the remaining monitor.
They destroyed it. They flipped it over.
The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it.
Those, you know, in-dialogue choices are always the easiest part.
As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not.
You know, I liked my yeet it theory better.
My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
Okay, I see. Interesting.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
Which means even if it was filmed in another place, as long as it was transmitting to the hospital, the range would be pretty limited. If that's the case, where was the video filmed to make it look like it was filmed at the music venue? The only possibility is that place inside that building. No, 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 no! God damn it. Conference room, okay. We get it. Ah! 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 Thank you! 40 seconds later, I get the first letter that I need. God damn, I hate this. And I can't even, like, have you guys give me hiragana practice because I need to be paying attention to the letters that are flying in at Mach .001. I'm gonna lose this just because I'm not getting the right letters, dude. This has taken me a full minute to get C and O. I need an F! I need an F or an N! I have an F after the N, I just need an N. Thank you, Jesus. Conf. I need an E. I need an E. That's not an E! At least that's my next letter. That's also my next letter. Alright, alright. Finally it has mercy on me. How on earth did this get greenlit? Who on earth was sitting there thinking, wow, you know what really sucked in Danganronpa 1? That stupid minigame. How can we improve it? I know, let's make it substantially slower, much less interactive, and somehow still require substantially more focus from our player. This has taken me nearly 3 minutes, y'all. I knew what the answer was 3 minutes ago. God damn it.
I got it!
Here's a fun drinking game. Take a shot every time you get the correct letter, and then never get drunk.
Possible that it was filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh? Conference room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two places resemble each other.
To make the conference room look like the music venue, the killer went ahead and did some work. I've got to make clear what that work was. Alright, this is the curtain. This one's getting pretty, close to wrapping up, it feels like.
The conference room and the music venue look the same.
Is that so, Mikan?
Which place resembled the other?
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
Or they might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming locations. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
I like that that's a contradictable line. That's good. In order to make the hospital conference room resemble the music venue, what did the killer do? They made the conference room
There's
look
no
like
way
the
the
music
conference
venue.
room-
No, that's wrong.
And the music venue look the same.
Which
Okay,
place
well,
resembled the other?
I feel like either of these could
the
be
conference room
correct
look like the
because,
music venue?
as I understand it,
Or did the music
they
venue
did
look
not
like the
tamper
conference room?
with the conference
Or
room.
did they make some
The
kind of
conference
set?
room was never tampered with, but the music venue
have tampered
was
with the
tampered
camera.
with in order to make
I still can't believe he
the
mixed up the
conference room
filming
appear
locations.
like the music venue.
Hajime, you're pretty
This is another one of
stupid.
those semantic games where, like, I can really see either answer being argued legitimately.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
That must be it!
All right, there it is.
What the killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the back of the stage.
From what I remember, there used to be a really flashy curtain. But after the incident...
Notably, the size on that support pole is depicted differently in this art. So I would be very impressed if that was something that any person had picked up on organically while reading for the first time. Because that is a very small detail, but it is present and it is consistent, and I really respect that.
It somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Hanami.
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks stupid!
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like the conference room?
In actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light-blocking curtain that's long enough to reach the floor.
I see. The conference room. Indeed, the floor of that room is the same color as the music venue stage. So the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor match.
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense you'd mistake the two.
Thanks, Akane.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence. Probably.
Something else the killer did to make the music venue look like the conference room. It's gotta be that.
I can prove it with this! You're referring to the candle in the music venue, right? In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. But if you think about it, it's pretty strange. The music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
But wouldn't they have done it to make it feel creepier?
That might have been another reason, but the main reason was probably to tamper with evidence. The lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so different. They couldn't be used during filming. That's why the killer used a candle as film lighting instead.
Which means... Are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just to make me think it was the same candle that was used in the video.
I refer once again to my drawing. Please note the candles that I have placed in duplicate in the 2 spaces. Thank you very much.
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. Maybe they were going for that effect. With that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in a dark area.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem to say this is decided. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue. It was actually filmed at the hospital conference room.
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would have reached an answer sooner. But it appears the killer already covered that up, so I didn't find anything when I went there.
But there's no mistake. That's the only place within the connection range of the surveillance camera.
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater is too distinctive.
But this must be a surprising turn of events for Hajime. You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital was being filmed in the conference room.
Didn't I, Nagito? Didn't I?
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime. It's occurring in the conference room.
I feel like I've heard Bayside cops say that before, but isn't it the other way around?
If Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the hospital's conference room, then was Ibuki killed at the conference room too?
No, that's not possible. Right after Hajime saw that video, he discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue.
The video was filmed at the conference room, but Ibuki's body was at the music venue. Which means there was a fake somewhere. That fake must have been the Hiyoko at the motel. I like that idea.
I see! The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki. It was the killer pretending to be Ibuki. The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their head, and was only pretending to be the victim.
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already been killed.
The actual time of death must have been earlier. Probably around midnight or dawn to avoid witnesses.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened during the day.
So that's what happened. Then no matter how quickly I ran, it was impossible for me to rescue Ibuki. At that moment, I was already in the killer's trap. And the one who set a trap for me was...
But why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video just so Hajime could go to the crime scene?
The reason the killer made a fake video. There's only one possibility I can think of. If I examine that possibility thoroughly, then naturally the killer's identity will reveal itself.
Huh?
You fiend! Are you saying you already know who the killer is?
That's right. I should already know. I should have already known who the killer is. You know, as annoying as we sometimes like to think Nagito is, there you are, we really do gotta hand it to him for basically handing the solution to this mystery to the group as a whole. Because without him bringing up the, you know, incriminating stuff and the important bits, we never would have arrived here. But we have to remember that he is the person who said that Byakuya was still alive and the Byakuya culprit theory is not dead yet. I will drag this bit out until the end of my days.
You're the only one! Nikon, you're the killer, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hiyoko?
Killer? Huh? I'm the killer? What is this?
I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. This feels
Don't
too
you
easy.
think that's kinda impossible? A chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill her first.
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's completely out of the question!
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi? Was that the killer's goal?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier. Only Hajime and Nikon have an alibi.
It's just a coincidence!
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference room. Is that also a coincidence?
Shouldn't you get some rest already? You should have been exhausted from nursing without any sleep. Yeah, this is what I remember. This is what I was talking about earlier. Then, if you insist, I will use the on-call room upstairs. You must be mentally exhausted, so it's better if you relax in the lobby instead.
At that time, you said you were going to the on-call room, but you actually went to the conference room. That's when you put on a hospital gown that you
Nice
prepared
booty.
in advance, put the bag on your head, and began filming. By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the music video. And showed that to me. Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to the conference room to film.
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Akane and I, were both delirious from the despair disease.
So that must mean...
Please, wait a second. What are you saying? I'm the killer?
I'm really curious how she's gonna develop from here on out.
Kill someone.
I'm wondering if we're gonna get
not
like
literally
a
impossible.
genocide Jack
Can't you give
level
a
of
better
personality
defense than
switch, or if
that?
she's just gonna carry this on until the end.
Just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure this chick is really the killer?
Wrong! It's totally wrong! It's not what you think!
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean, Mikan is the killer?
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be killed by such a slow-witted woman.
I love his delivery on that
Slow-witted
line.
remark is not necessary.
It's fine. I've been like this for a long time. In a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place with my soft reputation. Even I can't deny that. How many times do I have to tell you? It's impossible for me to kill someone. I'm serious. Very serious.
What do you say, Hajime?
Do you still believe this woman is the killer?
Do you hate me that much, Hajime?
Hey, Hajime!
You know, nobody's tried this tactic before as a defense, and I like it. I gotta give her credit for that, at least. Tricks aside, logic aside, is she really capable of doing something like this? Could it be I'm the one making a mistake? No, in fact, it'd be so much easier if I was wrong. So now we might be pivoting back to the despair disease, the state of Ibuki, and it being a whole lot easier to command someone else to kill than to actually kill themselves. If I have this much doubt about someone I've spent so much time with.
Can you hold on a minute?
Oh, Nagito.
Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all, and I mean, I have no place to say this. I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this.
What are you saying?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the killer this time.
Huh?
I thought it was suspicious all along, from the very beginning. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than investigating with no leads.
That is true.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover a truth that nobody else knows.
Okay, this is where we're okay. Now we're gonna get to the point where Nagito is gonna explain why he didn't want us to leave the hospital that night.
Are you serious?
He didn't want to be left alone with
I've been
Mikan.
so focused on everybody else this trial. But I guess now's a good time.
That or
to
he's
say
just going to pull a
You
Byakuya.
better not have kept quiet on purpose. This isn't a game, you know.
Actually, this is a game.
Please
Meta.
don't say such controversial statements. Well,
What do you know, Nagito?
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small, decisive clue that points to the killer.
Dang! That's a huge deal!
A decisive clue? Does something like that really exist?
Mikan panicking.
Let's take a look, shall we? Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from. This rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any ropes inside the music venue.
Again with the supermarket? That place is a hotspot for criminal goods.
If they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new, right?
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope, and keep in mind that it's brand new. Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly. But why is it like this? The loop Ibuki used to hang herself is on one end of the rope, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Is that visually evident from the photo? No, okay. So that is definitely not something that an attentive person could have picked up on their own ever. This is like a brand new revelation, no matter what.
Hey, you're taking too long. What's wrong with the rope being frayed?
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this.
Yeah, so she was
The
garroted.
killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck, pulled both ends at full strength, and strangled her. The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
Hold on. I've been listening to you for a while, and it sounds like you knew about this rope clue all along. What exactly did you say to me during the investigation?
So this rope won't be much of a clue. Then I might as well search another place.
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and conceal the truth will obviously be here too. Just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki. And then?
And then, I finished speaking.
How is that a decisive clue?
Huh? You didn't notice it? I thought I made the decisive clue very clear.
Nagito's words contain a decisive clue. Is that really true? What minigame are we playing now? Oh, an actual non-stop debate, huh? I'm assuming the rope is what I'm going to use here. I think I know where this is
Ibuki
going.
didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging.
And why is that?
Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
Yep.
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Whoever misunderstood. Now, I'm not sure what
Ibuki didn't die from hanging.
I'm supposed to use here, though.
She was strangled to death.
That, obviously, I'm not going to try to
That's basically the
contradict.
same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
I think
The
that
body
might
at
be
the
it right
crime
there.
scene was hanged, you know.
Because, like, yes, she was hanged, but that doesn't really
Obviously,
get
we'd
us
assume
anywhere.
it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
I just really love the alternating shifting of the pitch in her voice whenever I speed up. I'm gonna try
Ibuki
the
didn't
rope
die
used
from
for hanging
She was
on
strangled.
That's basically this. No hanging and strength. The scars they leave would look different.
this
Scars?
upcoming one
You
here.
mean the rope
Someone's
burn?
But
lie.
we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
That must be it. So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time.
There's something I want to ask you. There's no doubt Ibuki's cause of death was being hanged by this rope, right?
Yes, she had no other external injuries, so there's no doubt she died from hanging herself.
I see. So Ibuki died by hanging herself.
You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it, Nikon?
That is... well...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You lied, didn't you?
You should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strangling just by looking. You, Mikon, the ultimate nurse.
Please wait! First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical knowledge to identify injuries like that.
In her defense, I did actually say this during the first trial.
That's why it's not my fault if I made a mistake.
You were right. And you have been a great help to us so far.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and strangulation.
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right. I'm such a clumsy mess, and I got so careless.
Mikon nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki to her death?
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her. It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Mikon because she was nursing her.
So Mikon volunteered to nurse us? Because she was planning to do this all along?
That's a little... Aren't you like the thief who suspects everyone else of being thieves?
I'm not a criminal. Mikon is. I mean, she's a killer, you know.
You've got it all wrong. Please forgive me.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not, we still have not decided if Mikon is the killer.
Why is Nagito being so harsh on this one in particular? What about this separates it from the previous ones? I'm guessing it has to do with her motivation behind actually doing the killing. He might have picked up that maybe she's not doing it as like a hope thing. Like she didn't actually mean to do it in order to get out of like the island or anything. She might have just done it because she was like trying to put Ibuki out of her misery or something. Because there's definitely something different, but I think it has to do with Mikon's motivation, and I think that that is something that he's privy to and we're not.
I see. You guys are kind. Well, if that's the choice everyone makes, then the only thing I can do is back off, I guess. But is that really okay? Is that everyone's hope?
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep talking, I'm seriously gonna beat you up!
You go, Akane. Tell it like it is.
I really
The only other
There's no way!
possible...
I'm capable of killing someone!
The only other possible wrinkle would be if either Nagito or Akane is the killer. I mean, okay. So here's the problem, is technically Sonia and Kazuichi are still unaccounted for. They do not technically have alibis. If either of them was not at their motel room and was already set up in the conference room, and if Mikan did actually go up to the on-call room, then we don't have definitive proof that she is the one that did that. The problem is, like, we just don't really have any indication to the contrary, and it is so much more far-fetched to believe that either of them is there, rather than Mikan just going upstairs when she said she was going to go upstairs. And that also doesn't explain why she would fabricate the cause of death, or why either of them would be cognizant of, like, fabricating the time of death. I cannot see any way that this is not Mikan.
Is that really true?
Stop it already! That's enough!
I can't stop! I don't want to do this either! Of course I don't want to do this!
Cheers, Vacuum.
But I need to do this!
You doubt your friends?
That's not it! I suspect them because I want to believe them!
What the hell does that mean?
I'm with Akane on this one.
I don't think belief and doubt are necessarily opposites.
Huh?
I do doubt her, but I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause if there's no room for doubt, then there's no reason to believe, is there?
Don't say deep stuff. I don't really get it.
If you want to believe in someone, you need to overcome doubt first. Belief without doubt is simply a lie.
Philosophically, I don't think I agree with this, but I see where we're going.
Do whatever you want. I won't stop you anymore.
Huh? Is that all you can say?
Oh, here comes the switch flip.
So in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, huh?
All right.
Justifying your actions with fancy words. Making excuses for why it's not really your fault. Everyone always treats me like that. Always. It's all her fault. She's the one with the problem. I'm done with that. You hear me? I'm done!
Hey, Mikan!
It's not fair. It's not fair. 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 Not fair! Why won't you forgive me? If you did something wrong, you'd forgive yourself right away! What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
Is acting like this your strategy now? Wow, this is annoying. Plus, to be honest, I've run out of ideas. How can we get you to admit it? That's the issue.
If we don't have any clues, why don't we have her give us some?
Give me just a second.
I'm the same as Hajime. I don't want to doubt any of my friends. But still, the truth is one of us murdered two of our friends. That's why we gotta stick with this until the very end, so we can finally break these chains of despair.
I think Mikan, in this moment, she stands out from any other murderer that we have seen so far in the Danganronpa series, because it really does just feel like this is a natural extension of her character and her position, Like, it really just feels like she's fed up, just like she said. I don't think that has a legitimate claim to where she is currently, but like, I don't know, it just feels very smooth as a transition. It doesn't feel like, you know, Genocide Jack, I have literally 2 personalities in the same way that we had like Celestia, for example, where she, you know, had her like prim and proper, I am Celestia Ludenberg, and then just and these like 2 very contrasting, sharp, different modes. It really just feels like this is still Mikan, just a Mikan who's tired, who's fed up. I kind of really like that.
Hey, Mikan, can I ask you one last thing? If you're not the killer, then who fabricated that video Hajime watched?
Like I said, it obviously wasn't me.
Can you prove it?
Prove it? Wait. Do you have any proof that I'm the one who fabricated that video? Ah, that's right! Show me your proof!
And there's the rub.
Because you're just assuming the video was filmed at the conference room. Treating me like a killer based on an assumption. Just because I was at the hospital. That's totally crazy! I didn't do anything wrong! Why does everybody always hate me? Please, just forgive me already!
Is this broad really okay? She's emotionally unstable.
I'm not the killer! I never filmed that video!
It seems she finally started arguing for us.
She's doing a great job with the voice acting.
But the only one who can find the hole in her argument is you, Hajime. So, I'm going to leave this to you once again.
Could it be? Was this Chiaki's goal all along? She's saying everyone's fate depends on me, the only person who saw that video.
Why do you get to decide I'm the killer? Where's your proof? Please, forgive me already!
I need to make up my mind. I'm the one who has to do it. I'm the one who's going to finish this. Is this going to be the clicky time battle? Oh, no. Oh, okay, good. Oh, can you use... No, you can't. Okay.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Nice hair.
Oh, do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
I really like
To
this.
make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I really like where we're going with this. This one's tough though. This is constructed really nicely. I really like that the potential contradictable statements are so similar to one another and so matter of fact, point blank, boom. It really makes you have to think and consider. And I don't know what the answer is off the top of my head.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof?
But also, I kind of want to just let this play so I can hear her voice acting.
The proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So
I think I see where we're going with this. I just don't see the exact contradiction yet.
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I think somewhere in there she said something that has not yet been explicitly stated, and which only someone who has either seen the video or participated in its making would know. But what is that?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
We've talked about all of
Is
those
that
things,
really your proof?
I think.
You could tell her body type under the hospital gown?
We've talked about the hospital
Just
gown
from
existing.
that video? Just from that camera angle?
The camera angle we haven't
Just
talked
from
about,
that dim candlelight?
but like that feels a little...
There's no way you'd be able to
Irrelevant.
make out her body type!
So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the
this is
only one who
tough.
can point out the killer's mistake.
This is the tough one. This is the first struggle that I have had in this trial. Let's review what our bullet options are. The blood on the shoes, the rope used for
can't think of
hanging, the
anybody
motel
else
room
other
key,
than
the
you.
scrap of thick paper, the surveillance
filmed
camera
that
unit,
video.
the AC temperature,
Huh? Do you have any
and
proof?
Mikan's account. Of those, I don't
the
see the
handbag
AC
on her
temperature,
head
the
the
surveillance camera unit, the scrap of thick paper, the motel
Is the
room key,
hospital
or the
gown she
rope
was
being
wearing
relevant.
suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I want to check the specific details on surveillance camera unit. No, that doesn't really help me.
Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Let me review Mikan's account. I don't think this helps me. Surveillance monitor video is not one of my bullets, because that would be a lot more helpful here, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of this the wrong way. Let's review again.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof?
I think it's one of those first three.
You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
Camera angle's a
There's
little
no
weird.
way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close
I have an
attention
idea,
and listen
actually.
well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay. I'd forgotten about this mechanic, but we haven't used it for a while, actually. I don't think I have the right bullets.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
I don't think this is the right
Ibuki and
bullet. I
Nikon
just
clearly
grabbed it
have
as
different
a
body types.
as an example.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type!
I still don't see what the answer is.
Get me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Killer's mistake, obviously, isn't it?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed it.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Hemp bag.
Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
Hospital
Or could it be
gown.
The hospital slippers she had on.
The hospital slippers.
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown.
Body type under the hospital
Just
gown.
from that video. Just from that camera angle.
Camera angle.
Just from that dim candlelight.
Dim candlelight.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type.
Oh man, I don't know.
Forgive me already!
I don't know. This one's hard. I'm
Hajime,
glad we get
pay
something
close
hard.
attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I don't think killer's mistake helps me.
We can't think of anybody else other than you.
Dim
could've filmed
candlelight
that video.
to camera angle,
Do
perhaps?
you have any proof?
I'm
Is the
halfway
hemp
out of
bag on her
time.
head the proof?
The hemp bag on
Is
her
the
head.
hospital gown she was wearing
The hospital
suspicious?
gown.
Or could it be the hospital slippers she had
The
on?
hospital slippers she had on.
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown.
Body type under the
Just
hospital
from
gown.
that video. Just from that camera angle. Just from that dim candlelight.
Okay, I
There's
think
no
I know
way
what I'm
you'd
gonna
be
try
able to make out her
first.
body type. So please forgive me already!
Also, I like that
Hajime, pay
the
close
white
attention
noise
and listen
clearing
well.
is actually
You're the only one who can point
kind
out
of
the killer's
substantial here
mistake.
because I am definitely staying afloat on my timer with it.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed it.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown.
Whoops.
Just
Well, that
from
didn't work.
that video. Just from that camera angle. Just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
If I'm being optimal, I'm only losing about like 10
Hajime,
seconds per
pay
loop.
close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not confident about my choices, though.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you. Who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type!
Oh, what do I do, guys?
Forgive me already!
This one's hard.
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
Is this gonna be another
You're the
gravel
only one who
situation?
can point out
Or
the
am I just
killer's
stupid?
mistake.
Those are my options here. I think I might actually be able to gain time if I'm perfect.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you. Who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
That ain't it. Alright, I tried. Didn't you say that there was a person wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head in the video? I haven't made a mistake at all. Please forgive me already.
I'm not the killer!
Okay, so the hospital gown and the hemp bag I think are out,
Can't think of
which
anybody else
makes
other than
sense.
you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
The slippers, maybe?
Ibuki and Mikan
I don't know
clearly
why
have
that
different
didn't
body
load the bullet.
types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me
Dim
already!
candlelight to camera angle? I guess I'm gonna give a
Pay
try.
close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
Not this, not that.
Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
I do think the slippers line is a little weird.
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different
Something
body
about that
types.
tickles my brain, but I don't
Is that really
see how
your
that could be
proof?
useful.
You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
Nope, that ain't it.
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody
Camera
else
angle
other
into
than you
slippers?
who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Or slippers
Is
to
the
camera
hospital
angle?
gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan
It is
clearly
hard
have
to get
different
that,
body
man.
types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be
All
able
right.
to make out her body type!
I gotta
Please forgive me already!
I gotta lock in. I gotta go gamer mode.
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
I don't think it's the hemp bag.
Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
Still don't think it's the hospital gown.
Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki
Did I already
and
try
Mikan
slippers to
clearly have
camera
different
angle?
body types.
I think I did.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd
Shoot.
be able to make out her body type!
Ah, man, this is hard.
So please forgive me already!
Oh, you can slow things down. I forgot about that. Yeah, this might help.
Hajime,
Actually
pay close
using the game
attention and
mechanics.
listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Mistake. I shouldn't waste it, though.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Okay, not the hemp bag.
Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
Not the hospital gown.
Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
The hospital slippers, perhaps?
Ibuki and
At the
Mikan
camera
clearly
angle?
have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
Nope.
Damn it!
All right. Shoot.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you.
I think I just have to brute force it at this
who
point
could have filmed that video.
because I am not seeing it.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
Oh man.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her
I
body
ran out
type.
of the stuff.
So please
I ran out of
forgive me
juice.
already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
See, at least you guys know that I'm not cheating.
Can point out the killer's mistake.
When I make a correct prediction, it's not that I've read ahead, because then I end up with things like this where the answer is probably super obvious to anybody with 2 eyes, and yet here I am struggling for 15 minutes on something with a 6-minute timer.
We can't think of anybody else other than you. Who could have filmed that?
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof?
Am I supposed to take killer's
You could tell
mistake?
her body type under the hospital gown?
Actually,
Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
maybe one of these things is the killer's mistake.
So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Okay, let's look at it with this angle in mind. Let's assume one of the things she's saying is the killer's mistake. The killer's mistake, I guess, would probably be her shoes because there's no blood on them.
We can't think of anybody else other than you. Who could have filmed that video?
Huh? Do you have any proof?
Is the killer's mistake
Is the hemp bag on
the
her head
hemp
the
bag
proof?
on her head? No, I don't think it is.
Is the hospital gown she was wearing
Is the hospital
suspicious?
gown? No, I don't think it
Or
is.
could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Let's try this. God damn it. Ibuki was wearing hospital shoes, right? And the person in the video was wearing hospital shoes too, right? So what's wrong with that? Is that proof that I was the one who filmed that video? Of course not. Ah, shoot.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Okay, so
Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
it's none of those.
Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really
Problem is, I
your
think I
proof?
need to cycle through to the end to
You
get
could tell her
to
body type under the hospital gown? Just from that
the killer's
video?
mistake.
Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body
I
type!
missed that one every time.
So please forgive me already!
And destroyed 500
Hajime,
white noise
pay close
lines. I've
attention
destroyed
and listen
400
well.
of them tonight alone.
You're the only one who
Amazing.
can point out the killer's mistake.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the dim candlelight this time.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than who could have filmed that video.
Everyone in chat's getting it except me.
Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
What is it? Weren't we talking about that earlier? The light that was used in the video was light from the candle. And what's wrong with that? Is there any proof that I was the one who used the candle? Is it the camera angle? I guess it must be the camera
think of
angle.
anybody who
The
could have
killer's
filmed
mistake is the camera
Do
angle.
you have
Okay.
any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I guess we're going to
from
say,
that
how
dim
did you know
camera
what
light?
angle the camera was at?
There's no
But
way
that
you'd be
feels
able to
a
make out her
little...
body type. So
That feels weak, man. That feels like such a weak contradiction.
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
At least I've gotten really good at destroying
Is
the white
hospital
noise.
gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different
See, I'm
body
just stalling
types.
because I like listening to
Is
her
that
voice
really
acting.
your proof?
That's what's
You could
going on
tell her
here.
body
I actually
type
figured
under
this
the
out like
hospital
45
gown?
minutes ago,
Just from that video?
and I'm just sandbagging
Just
content.
from that camera angle?
Oh shoot, I forgot. Go, go, go. Finally! Oh
I'll
my
shoot
god.
through that contradiction.
Jesus. I feel like such an idiot.
Nikon, you've committed a major mistake.
The thing is, this, unless I'm really not understanding where we're going with this, the camera angle that Hajime saw it at can be inferred based on the status of the supposed crime scene. Because it is our understanding that the conference room was set up to look as if it matched the music venue. So it makes sense to assume that the angle that this is being viewed at would be the same as the angle that this was filmed at. So I might just be completely missing the point here, and if that's the case, cool. But otherwise, I just don't... that one was not intuitive to me.
Mistake?
As I said before many times, I'm the only one who saw that video.
What's wrong with that?
But I never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera angle as if you saw that video yourself?
So I was right about it being,
Only
you know,
reason
something
Nikon
only the killer would know.
camera angle Hajime had seen is because you're the person who actually filmed that video. Is that right?
This is your just reward. The more desperately you argue, the deeper you dig yourself into a hole. You lied, didn't you?
I mean, we've already established that she's lied. Just not about this.
Are you serious? Is it true, Mikan? Did you kill Hiyoko and Ibuki?
Ah! Forgive me! Huh? 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 I was wrong. Wrong. No.
Oh boy, here we go.
That's not it at all.
Here we go.
That's not it?
I mean, it's impossible.
Impossible?
You know that hemp bag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Try remembering the tote bag instead. Ding!
Oh.
I totally
Oh, this is a
remember
weak
now.
defense, girl.
What the heck's wrong with her? She's getting weirder by the minute.
That tote bag, isn't it the same one that girl was wearing in the video?
How do you know so much about that video?
Who cares about that? More importantly, did you know that bag is a limited item that was sold at the movie theater?
Weak.
Hajime saw it too, didn't you? You remember the Usami decal on it, right? Whoopsie! Don't worry about it. I remember even if you don't. Ta-da! There's no mistake that that tote bag is a limited item. So don't you think it's impossible? Using one tote bag in both the conference room and the music venue at the same time? It's blatantly obvious that that's impossible, don't you think? That's why that video isn't fabricated, and I'm not the killer. So you'll forgive me, right?
Taking your stubbornness this far. Such despair.
Then you're gonna forgive me? I won't stop until you forgive me!
Long time no see. Oh god, no. Oh please, no. Not a new minigame. Oh no, not a new addition to the Panic Talk action minigame. This is probably going to be my last job at a class trial. Please humor me while I taint your ears one last time. Starting from this PTA, the reload and ammo features will be added. Okay, so this is the same one where you had to like reload on the beat. You will no longer be able to make do with just the left mouse button. Below the tempo marker in the lower portion of the screen, the number of bullets are displayed. From this point on, you'll need 1 bullet to destroy 1 remark. When you're out of bullets, you won't be able to destroy the remarks no matter how much you mash the left mouse button. You will be able to refresh your bullets by pressing the tab key to reload. Just like locking on, press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. The controls are the same as the left mouse button. Match the tempo marker either by pressing the tab key. What? Match the tempo marker either by pressing the tab key. What is the word either doing in that sentence? Match the tempo marker by pressing the tab key, as I think what that's supposed to say. The number of bullets refreshed is based on how well you kept the tempo. If you get the timing wrong when you press the tab key, bullets will not be refreshed. Well, GG. Also, your ammo will be completely refreshed and will not run out during fever time. Okay. If your difficulty level is set to gentle, you don't need to reload. I guess this was a pretty useless explanation, even though it was the last one. That should be all the explanations for the class trials. The rest is up to you to overcome. You should be able to find it beyond this point. What you and I both yearn for. True despair. Well then, good luck and have fun.
Explaining it until you forgive me! That bag is a limited item! That's why that crime is impossible for anyone to pull off.
This chick, has she lost it for good?
Will you forgive me? You'll forgive me, right? Isn't that right? You're obviously gonna forgive me, right?
You see, while I respect it from a gameplay point of view, and, an audience catharsis point of view, I feel like at this point, everyone in this room is pretty well ready to vote for Mikan. At this rate, we're not getting anywhere. I gotta do something, and end this. I gotta do something so I can make her admit it. Okay, wish me luck. So I'm supposed to hold in between the beats?
You still haven't forgiven me? Please, draw on me!
Okay.
Why only me? Please, draw on me! Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me! Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want.
Okay, yeah, I get it now.
Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me?
I swear to God, I'm clicking on the beat.
Forgiven me? Please, draw on me! Why only me? Please, draw on me!
Yeah, here's my general problem, is it just
Can you forgive
musically,
me
it
already?
does not sound like the clicks that I'm supposed to do line up with the actual beat of the music. And now that I understand what the mechanics are supposed to be here, the visual aid makes sense, but the actual music when the visual aid goes away just doesn't make sense.
There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in 2 places at the same time.
This is the end!
There we go. Alright, bye Mikan. I was close to dead there too.
Monokuma mentioned this earlier.
Oh shoot. Memories aren't voiced. When you buy one bag, you get another one free! It's a common practice to bait customers with bonus prizes.
Whoever bought that bag should have received another one as a bonus prize. Which means it's not impossible to use that bag in 2 separate places. So please, just stop making desperate excuses.
Because you murdered my favorite
Seems
character.
Her desperate struggle is finally coming to an end.
Why does everybody always hate me? You should just forgive me already!
Nikon, it's already over. After I go over your crime from the beginning,
Oh yeah, the
I'll
comic
show
book.
that you have no arguments left. Please, just admit it already. In the end, at least let me believe in you.
All right, closing arguments. Let's go. At least this one doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of time pressure. All right. What I saw on the monitor. What did the killer take after the broadcast? The body was hidden before. The small clue that the killer left. Put it back to normal after destroying it. How was the real locked room created? And that's it. Okay. There we go. That goes right there. The killer left behind a clue, which is that there. Let's see. This probably goes right here. Yeah, there we go. This is a really short one, which makes me think maybe there's going to be 2 comic books that I have to use. What I saw on the monitor, the video of the broadcast, okay. What the killer did after the broadcast was... that, I guess. And then... yeah, that must be it.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
That's a really short closing
The key
argument.
to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime. When I went to the hospital with Nikon this morning, I noticed a specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the scheduled time. When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head about to hang themselves right at that moment. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with the hospital and the music venue. That's why I thought the signal originated from the music venue, so I immediately headed over there. But that was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded in a different place. The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. And then, they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time. When in fact, the crime had already been committed by that point. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake. I didn't know that, so I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a bag on its head.
Fun fact, and something that has been bothering me for this whole episode. Linguistically, in the English language, hanged is the past tense form of somebody who died, by hanging, whereas hung is for like what you do with, decorations on your wall. So a person is hanged, a painting is hung, and that has been used interchangeably during this whole episode and it has been bothering me. I just needed to lay that out there.
Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out of there to get the rest of you guys. But that was also part of the killer's trap. After cleaning the conference room, the killer was likely watching the music venue from outside. And, as if they were switching places with me, they went inside the music venue. and began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars, revealing Hiyoko's body. When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice anything strange about that pillar. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper, or have Hiyoko's body hidden inside. Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used in the conference room. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of the surveillance monitor found at the crime scene. The surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video, but when they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor beforehand. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene. In the end, the killer transformed the crime scene into a closed room. They broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room and placed it near the music venue's entrance.
The thing is, this still doesn't answer important questions.
However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked from the inside. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was because of the glue.
I was so held up on this
The killer sealed the door
glue.
with glue and intentionally created a closed room that could be forced open. With that, the killer finished tampering with the crime scene and met up with Fuyuhiko again. They helped us force open the music venue door, despite the fact that they personally sealed it. And they made us discover not just Ibuki's body, but Hiyoko's suddenly present body as well.
I really like this face for the killer. I really enjoy the
time,
art in the
they
comic book
pretended to be
sections.
surprised,
I wish that it was
Inside,
displayed like
they were
this more
probably
often. Not
relieved that
necessarily
the
that we
plan
made
worked
more
out.
comic books, but I'd love to see more of this comic book art style.
Isn't that right, Mikan? This crime was orchestrated by you, wasn't it?
Smiling Mikan, oh god, what has the world come to? So now you tell us the why. Specifically why Ibuki. Was it just crime of opportunity? I had the chance to kill her and so I did?
Whoa! Now she's laughing?
It's been such a long time. This feeling, I know it well. Like the floor is collapsing.
Okay, so Mikan
like
wallows
the
in
sky is
despair.
falling down
And that's
upon
why
you.
Nagito
This
doesn't like
feeling
her.
of despair.
Okay.
Mikan, what has happened to you?
Whoa there! Before that, a moment of your
Monokuma?
time.
Monokuma? What you doing? Perhaps she has the despair disease, which would make sense. I think every trial so far I've gotten a solid B, and I'm pretty okay with that, I think.
It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion, so let's proceed to our regularly scheduled voting time. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Let's go!
B for bullshit tempo screwing me over, true. B for Byakuya is still the culprit. You get me. I appreciate you, Luigi. All rise.
Well now,
Now then, though it may be obvious at this point,
correct.
you got it right once again. That's like 3 in a row. Maria Montil, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. That's right! The true identity of the horrifying Blackened who killed 2 girls was Mikan Tsumiki. Man, we are just really killing off the female cast of this game, aren't we? You gotta be shitting me. Are you saying Mikan, the one who nursed us back to health, was the one who killed them?
I won't forgive you.
Don't joke around with me, Mikan. Did you lie to us all along? Were you planning to kill them from the start while you were nursing them?
Hey!
Don't just laugh, say something! This is going nowhere.
What's going on?
This chick.
Hey!
This is nothing like Peko. She's actually gone mental.
That's obvious.
There's nothing we can do. She's no longer the same person. She's no longer the Mikan Tsumiki we knew.
Huh?
Hey,
Based on my predictions, she might have caught it too. She probably had the despair disease, which was the motive for this case.
What?
Mikan too, you say?
I
know, because I was looking at Mikan for so long. She was the one taking care of me, after all. My consciousness kept drifting, but even so, when I did catch a glimpse of her, her expression was full of despair. A despair so devoid of hope that not even a single fragment of it remained. Hold on, did you say Mikan also had the despair disease? Then that means she was...
what?
Hajime, has something crossed your mind? My body's heavy. No, not just heavy. It's somewhat soft and really hot. That's right. Mikan felt really hot at that time. Now that I think about it, that must have been a high fever, just like what Ibuki and Akane had.
It cannot be.
Then, because of that disease, Mikan was... Alright. You know what? Props to this one. That could absolutely have been figured out by an attentive reader. The fever thing was brought up a number of times in advance, and if you were really thinking about it, you might have picked up on those clues. I respect that. I am not at all upset about that, and I am not upset that I missed it. That's very clever. I'm very happy with that. And I did say before that I thought, like, Mikan was at the highest risk of catching it. We just never saw her outwardly having the symptoms, which is very interesting. But I was talking before about how I thought it was, potentially very interesting having a murder where, like, you have to consider people doing the opposite of what they would ordinarily do. And I guess that makes sense. Mikan, who, is all about healing people, if she gets the despair disease, it makes sense that she would take them out of their misery. I like that a lot.
Perhaps.
The symptoms that she surely felt must have been deserving of the name despair disease. Losing all hope, harboring despair for all hope. Because of the despair disease, she was likely overcome with despair.
See?
That's the reason why she can still laugh in such a hopeless situation.
Jeez.
Which means the Mikan standing before us is no longer the ultimate nurse. She's a completely different person now that she's infected by the despair disease.
Isn't that right?
She's a human who deserves to be called the ultimate despair.
Ultimate despair? Man, I really enjoy this giggling from her.
That's the reason why I cannot forgive this. I mean, killing someone for the sake of despair instead of for the sake of hope.
Impossible.
There's no way I can forgive that.
Oh?
For the sake of despair? That's completely wrong.
Huh? Wrong? Wrong? What's wrong?
What I did was for the sake of my beloved.
Okay. And viewers like me who know all the cases are able to see important details as they happen with hindsight. Well, that's why I say I think you can... Good murder mystery is my favorite genre for a variety of reasons I've discussed earlier on, like, last stream. But here's a reason that I think is you can enjoy a good murder mystery 3 times. First, as a new viewer, where every twist is a surprise and you try to figure things out. Second, when you have already seen it and you can pick up on the foreshadowing and the clues and the laying the groundwork. And third, when you send it to a friend and have them experience it, and you get to watch someone else go through the process that you have already gone through. Those three experiences with the exact same text are completely different, and that is why I love murder mystery.
Huh? Huh?
Who are you talking about?
If only they were still alive, they'd be so happy. I know.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
My beloved was the only one. That's right. The only one who never hated me. They forgave my existence. They forgave me and accepted me. They gave me value. They loved me. I loved them with all my heart, and they returned it in full. This is my reciprocation.
I understand that I've done something unforgivable. But you know, to transcend all that is truly
It's love.
what love is all about.
Hey,
I don't understand what you're saying.
You don't understand? Is it because you don't have anyone to love? Is it because you're also someone who isn't accepted by anyone? What a pity. I feel sorry for you.
Well,
Even if I say this, I'm sure nobody here would understand, but love is a wonderful thing. And this feeling of freedom where you no longer care about anything. My beloved and I are the only ones within that thin veil, and I'm just looking out through it. That's why, as long as I'm on the inside, no matter how much they tease me, splash me with water, kick me,
how amazing.
it's like nothing matters. I could just die. That's how little it matters. Who cares about hope or despair? It's love. Only love.
Could it be?
Nagito, is this really the despair disease you were talking about?
this is...
It seems that I was wrong. Not only was she affected by despair,
You were half right. It's right to say that this is all thanks to that disease. Because, thanks to that disease, I was able to remember my beloved. Remember? Apparently that's what my symptom was. What a wonderful symptom. Which means you had the remembering disease?
But...
if this means she remembered something, it ended up like this.
So she remembered her time at the school before her memories were taken away, which would indicate that her lover was either Sato or the other Kuzuryu, Fuyuhiko's sister? Let me review some text real quick. Did she say her beloved is dead? If they were still alive. Well, not necessarily. It could be Byakuya or Teruteru as well. Or, you know, Mahiru or Peko Peko, though I sincerely doubt Peko. Interesting. Let's see where this goes.
such despair.
are you saying you were like this from the start? Were you like this before you even came to this island?
You know what? Actually, it's kind of rare that I have to take notes during the trial phase. Much more so after the trial phase, but we're gonna go ahead and, we're just gonna make some notes here. Mikan was struck with the remembering disease, which made her recall her dead lover from before the island. This person never hated her, and forgave her. And she committed the murder as penance. You know, I'm thinking it's probably... I mean, if we tie this back to the Act 2 thing, then we could say that if she was intending to murder Ibuki, it might be because of Ibuki's role in Kuzuryu's sister getting murdered. So maybe her lover was the other Kuzuryu? It's a thought. I'm not 100% convinced, but it's a thought. Don't get so angry. Well, first of all, the reason I became like this wasn't my fault. It was all your fault, you know? Because it's not like I'm entirely responsible for turning out like this. I'm the person I am today because of many human relationships. So it's everybody's fault that I turned out like this, you see? Even so, the current me was most strongly influenced by my beloved's existence. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think that that really passes muster. Because she was also, I think, one of the girls that was involved in covering everything up. And it was also my beloved who created the me that everyone can't forgive. But my beloved still forgives me and accepts me. That is the key difference between all of you and my beloved.
Don't fuck with me!
Like I said, who the fuck are you talking about? I don't think this is right, because it just feels way too contrived. But, like, she's definitely giving off Toko vibes right now. And it is not a far stretch to draw a parallel between her relationship with her beloved and Toko's relationship with Byakuya. And Byakuya was already on this island and is now deceased. And we know that Mikan's lover is deceased. Again, that feels very contrived, and I don't think that's legit, but like... I'm just laying out that parallel right now, just in case I'm right later. She's the real Mikan? Mikan, please answer me. Did you really remember? You ended up like this all because you remembered? There's no way I can believe that. There's no way the person you are right now is the real Mikan. Oh, you still doubt me? Then, to prove I remember, I'll tell you all something nice. It's about that world ender organization that you all were worrying about.
You serious?
You know? Not know, I just remembered, that's all. I knew about it all along. How that horrifying organization known as World Ender is also the organization known as the Future Foundation, which is what Monami is all about. Yeah, okay, this isn't really much of a revelation, it's just kind of giving a new name. Mikan remembered that World Ender is also known as the Future. Just gonna put it in caps. Future Foundation. Future Foundation. Future? That's right. That symbol on the ancient ruins door. That's right. It was the Japanese word for future. Do I know how to write that? I think I do. Hold up. Let's see. Am I... This is really testing my hiragana. Da. E? Am I right? I'm confident on me and E, but I'm not sure about Ra. Does anyone know, is this right? I think that's kanji on the door. I wasn't sure if that was kanji or if it was just a design. Ta. Ta is easy because it just looks like ta. It looks like you wrote T-A, but the A is wrong. On the door is stylized kanji. Okay, cool. Good to know. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, just what is the Future Foundation? What are they planning?
As the name suggests, that organization is the World Ender. The Future Foundation is trying to end our world. To put it simply, they're trying to claim the world for ourselves.
Okay. The notes come back. I think I'm just going to leave notes up for now because it looks like we might be taking a few of them. Is the Future Foundation, which is trying to end the world to claim it for themselves. Okay.
This is bad.
Oh, what the heck? This isn't a comic book, you know?
As part of their plan to end the world, the Future Foundation brought us to this island.
Okay. Okay.
Isn't that right, Monami? Huh?
Yeah, I knew it. Manami, Monokuma. They're both members of that crazy organization, aren't they?
Monami and I aren't members.
I am Monokuma!
My existence is entirely my own.
Hey,
I like Mikan's giggling.
Don't laugh. Hey, Mikan, if you really do remember, then you already know, right? You know the true identity of the traitor hiding among us.
Of course I know that. Let's see. The Future Foundation lackey that's hiding among you all is...
Oh?
Oh well. No one really cares about that, don't you think?
of course not.
Ah, hell no!
You'll find out eventually, so there's no need to be so impatient. Probably when that countdown ends.
Countdown? You even know about that?
Oh?
I don't know anything.
Huh?
I have a feeling that's what it is, but who cares about that, you know? I'm drowning in so much love. From the bottom of my heart, I just don't care about anyone or anything.
That is...
Mikan, is this really you?
I won't believe it. There's no way I can believe you were like this all along. Because if that's true, then who's the person we've been spending time with up till now?
The past.
Past?
That person, she didn't exist in the beginning. She's just my past self who lost her school memories. You guys considered that thing a friend.
Oh?
That doesn't make me happy at all. It just fills me with despair. You guys accepted my past self, but not my present self.
That's...
Well...
That applies to you all as well. Memories of people, memories of events. Whatever memory it is, losing memories are
Do you understand?
like losing your personal identity. Memory is the most important component in building a person, don't you think? Losing our memories makes us shadows of the past, don't you think?
Hey,
I don't know what you're trying to say, but in the end, it always leads back to that story. That story about our stolen school lives.
hey, hey!
So it was true all along. Our memories were taken away.
Damn it!
If it wasn't true, we wouldn't be suffering this much.
Well, why don't you just take your sweet time and remember at your own pace?
Oh?
Oh, Monokuma, is it all right for you to start now?
Yes, indeed.
Punishment time? Damn it, why? Mikan, why does it have to end like this? This is too pointless. This is too much.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For the ultimate nurse, Mikan Sumiki.
So it's over. It's really... Now I can go to my beloved, who always forgives me. I can finally see them. Please forgive me, the one who's going to die with the hope of finally seeing you.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I have thoughts about this game that I will save for after this punishment. Bye-bye, ouchies. Ultimate Nurse Mikan Tsumiki's execution. What? What? Thank you. That was what we needed. That needed to be the last shot that we get of Mikan. Mikan gets to escape the island. Nice. Okay. Goodbye, nurse. So, what is the purpose of the game in Danganronpa 1? The purpose of the game is to show these regular students falling to despair to the rest of the world. And to see them break down and murder one another and, you know, collapse completely. That does not seem to be how... That doesn't seem to be the driving motivator behind this game, which makes it conspicuous that Monokuma is here and is the one driving it. Obviously, you know, hope and despair and all that, but... the whole, like, despair disease just wouldn't fit in with the goal of what was going on in Danganronpa 1. Now, maybe I'm reading too much into this, and maybe I'm wrong, and Monokuma's just doing what Monokuma did in the first game as well, but that doesn't feel right to me at this time. I don't know what it could be. It's finished. Is it really finished? The killer who killed Ibuki Miyota and Hyoko Sayonji was Mikan Tsumiki. Sorry, I just realized it's 11:40 and I have 20 minutes to make sure that I logged into Fate Grand Order, so I'm just doing that real quick. And she's been executed. She apparently committed her crime because she was afflicted by the despair disease. So what? What's finished? Nobody wanted it to end this way.
Let me ask.
Who was that Mikan from earlier? Was that her true form? Or is that itself a symptom of the despair disease?
Okay, I'd already logged into FGO. We're good.
Damn it.
It doesn't matter either way. If she ended up like that just from remembering, then all along Mikan was never worth being a symbol of hope.
But...
even if her words were influenced by the despair disease, if the disease turned her into that, if she lost herself to a simple disease, she was definitely unworthy of being a symbol of hope.
isn't that right?
So let's just move on. Come on, let's take all this despair and change it into hope.
Please wait!
That is impossible. I mean, I thought we were friends this whole time. But even so...
Like a house of cards collapsing in an instant. In the end, our friend we thought we knew ended up showing us a completely different side of herself. Then she vanished from our sight, leaving behind only her malice towards us. And now, there's no way we can just move on or try to have a clear-cut attitude about these feelings. That's clearly impossible.
Damn it!
It would have been so much easier if she was the traitor too.
Wrong.
Too bad. That's not the case.
Mikan was not the traitor.
Come on!
The traitor is still alive. As proof, see how fine Monami looks right now. I'm not fine at all. But if the traitor died, you wouldn't be this calm, right? I mean, you're both pawns of the Future Foundation, so you guys are like two hearts beating as one, right?
Oh man, you guys didn't tell me to take the notes away for the execution.
You fiend.
I just realized that. What does that make you, fiend? You did say that you're different than Monami.
Who cares about who I am? More importantly, I'm tired. The drama just kept going and going, and I didn't even have time to eat my black bean right eye during the break.
Is that a localization thing? I don't understand what that's referencing.
Your right eye is made out of black beans?
Hey!
Wait, now's not the time to focus on that. What are you trying to say?
Hey,
You know, isn't it said that life has its ups and downs? It's fun because downs come after ups, but if life was full of downs, wouldn't it get boring? So, in order to help you guys feel better, I've prepared a special event.
Special event?
Head over to the First Islands beach. An old friend will be waiting there.
Nekomaru, one could assume?
Hey!
Is it? It is, isn't it? Nekomaru was safe after all?
Safe. How should I say this?
I knew it. I knew that crazy bastard Nekomaru would come back to us in one piece. Oh god. Oh lord. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Awesome! We're starting to see the light of hope. It's Ibuki's twin sister. Yes, finally.
The light of hope. I am happy Nekomaru is returning to us, but
So just as I thought.
3 of our friends just died. So I honestly cannot be happy.
Miss Sonia.
However,
Even so, I am still happy if Nekomaru is safe. I am truly happy.
Fine.
If you are happy, you should honestly greet him with open arms. But perhaps those who have been taken from us would do the same if they still lived.
Hey, Supreme Overlord of Who Gives a Shit. That line doesn't suit you at all.
Silence.
I shall crush you into dust.
Ibuki, Kyoko, Mikan, can you hear us? If you are unhappy, I apologize. However, please forgive me for right now. I want to warmly welcome Nekomaru when he returns to us.
You don't have to worry, Sonia. I'm sure your feelings are reaching them.
right?
Then let's all go greet Nekomaru. Let's make it grand, even for those who have died. What the heck? Do I still have the after effects of that disease? I don't get this at all.
Man, the tears do not look like tears.
Hane.
All right!
Then let's go. Yeah, you're right. Nekomaru's coming back. When we heard that, we were unable to contain our excitement as we jumped into the elevator.
Uh-oh.
Man, they just ran off without listening to what I had to say.
Unbelievable.
Jeez, they're so impatient. Didn't they learn to stick around until others have finished talking? What does that mean?
Hey!
You're plotting something again, aren't you?
No way!
I'm not plotting anything. I was just trying to properly explain everything to them, including Nekomaru's body. Nekomaru's body? It's their fault for not sticking around until I finish talking. So if something happens because of that, I bear no responsibility. What did you do to Nekomaru?
What's this?
What did I do? I just saved him, that's all. I mean, if I didn't do that, there's no way I could have saved someone who was that close to death. Oh my god, he's gonna like be Futurama style head in a jar. So it just couldn't be helped.
As soon as we exited the elevator, we started running. Hurry, to the beach on the first island.
All right!
Let's haul ass! Even though our minds were completely exhausted, strangely enough, our bodies felt light. Without stopping for anything, we kept on running towards the beach on the first island. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord, what is about to happen? Where in the world is Nekomaru?
Hey,
Hey, Nekomaru, show yourself!
Listen!
We have come to pick you up. Please hurry and come out of hiding.
We raised our voices. We looked around the area. We raised our voices again. We looked around the area again. And so on and so forth. We kept looking for him. But...
Hey, hey!
Oh, what the hell, man? He's nowhere to be found.
Damn it!
Could it be? Did we get false info from Monokuma again? And that's when it happened. I don't know what I'm about to see. All I know is that I'm not prepared for it. We heard a familiar voice echo throughout the beach.
What happened? Were y'all looking for me?
I am going to cautiously click the proceed button.
Could it be?
That voice!
With high hopes in our hearts, we turned toward the direction of the voice. And then we saw something truly unbelievable. Oh my god, it's gonna be Mechamaru.
Huh? What the?
Yo! I've kept you waiting. Hey, what's going on?
I like everyone's shocked faces. Man, this Chiaki face is a mood.
Perhaps you don't remember my face since we haven't seen each other in a while. That's pretty sad, you know? That's too much!
Who are you?
Huh? You too? What's going on? If you're messing with me, I'll stop doing it to you.
Nekomaru? Haven't you noticed it yourself?
All 4 of these faces are going to be added as emotes on the Discord and maybe here on Twitch.
What do you mean, noticed? Oh, you mean this body? This is nothing!
What am I about to see? Straight up
Name's
Mechamaru.
Nekomaru Nidai! I've been reborn in the rivers of hell!
Okay. 9 days, 14 hours, 34 minutes. Oh, did I just... Okay, whatever. Apparently that's where we're ending the chapter. The nurse's apron. All right. Well, that is an interesting way to end the chapter here. I'm going to remove the notes and have us watch the execution again so that y'all can see it with... Oh, I have to spend coins on this? There we go. There we go. So now you guys can see this in its full glory. Frickin' wild ride, man. I don't think it would have been at all possible to predict the true motive behind this murder. I think an attentive viewer would have been able to piece together that she had the disease. And I think from there, the conclusion would be that she, you know, was the opposite of her normal self, so she goes from the ultimate nurse to the ultimate killer, I guess. and, you know, would, instead of, you know, trying to help make a patient feel better, would try to put them out of their misery or just kill them for fun. That's kind of my best, most reasonable conclusion that I think a person could draw from this. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with how that mystery went. I got almost everything right. I had a couple of small pain points in the theorizing, but overall, broad strokes, I'm pretty well pleased with how that went. Mechamaru was not on my list for today. I've said it before. I'm sure that I'm going to say it again. Danganronpa 2 is doing a very good job of throwing surprises at me. And I don't know what else I should expect at this point. She wouldn't have gotten caught without all the conference room stuff. Oh no, she wouldn't have gotten caught without the conference room stuff, but the whole ruse wouldn't have worked if not for the conference room stuff in the first place. So like the scene with Chiaki drawing your attention there is vital in order to figure it out. Unless you just like happen to be like incredibly attentive and would have noted on your own organically that the curtains in the back of the venue had changed and that it happened to match the curtains and flooring in the conference room from like the one time that you ever would have explored it in the first place organically. So that's going to be it for tonight, guys. I'll be seeing you probably Sunday night, I would expect. That's going to be our last stream for about a week or so as I go traveling. Then once I get back, we'll do a couple more streams and then my move. So thank y'all for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you, as always, to my mods for hanging out and making sure that I don't get spoiled. And I will be updating my YouTube channel. So the last stream and this stream should both be up on YouTube before I start on Sunday. And at that point, I should be able to just start getting things, you know, as up to date as possible. So that's going to be it, guys. I'll see you in a couple of days. In the meantime, you know the drill. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourselves. Be safe. And as always, peace out. Night, y'all.